What's going on, everybody? Wait, what day is it? Is it Thursday? It's Thursday. Thursday? Thursday? It is Thursday. All right. Oh. All right, let's get going. How's everybody doing? let's get going. What is good, everybody? All right, I want to play cities today. It is too hot to work in the garage right now. We'll work on getting that situated, and we are going to work on Las Rico. That was the city that I was working on for Jack, and he resigned as mayor of that city, and now I'm the mayor. Now I'm the mayor. So let's get going. I was building a racetrack. Building a racetrack in there. Gotta go fast. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go fast. Wait, you play video games? Hey, Blobby, what's going? You're over on YouTube today. You betrayed Twitch. Oh no.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Galaxy with the 66 plus 1 month resub. I thought the mayor played golf. It doesn't mean it can't have a golf course in it. We'll have a golf course in it. All right. Let's roll. Let's roll. Come on, don't give me that. Thanks for all the months of the year. Yeah, no problem. No problem, dude. Thank you for the resub. All right, let's roll. Let's roll, son. It's actually not too bad in the garage, but we gotta get back to playing some games. We are streaming on Twitch after all. So, all right, this is what we were working on. Oh man, it's been a second. I gotta remember the controls here. This is the racetrack that we've made. It is a little bit of a doozy. Yeah. It's a little bit of a doozy. So, this is Las Rico. This is the city that I helped Jack fix the traffic problems with. I built a couple of bypass highways and stuff, and it, it's not without its issues, but, we're not working on that right now. We are working on the racetrack. We're working on a racetrack. Or we could go fix the problems in the city. There is some issues that need to be fixed, but it's like Barcelona and Shanghai. Yeah. You also have the trains to fix at some point. Bro, don't even get me started. Why did you remind me of this? Just uh This is fine. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Well, yeah. Yeah. For what it's worth, Jack didn't design that. That's all just the stock stuff. This over there. This, however, Jack, what the actual frick are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, I'm over it. Let's go. So we could continue to fix stuff. You know what? I think I might, now that you guys mention it, I think I might do that. I think I might redo some of the trains. Just some here and there. Because, yeah, I got to get back in the groove. I have not, I went and looked on YouTube. I don't remember the last time we played. When was the last time we worked on this racetrack? Build race trains. Good idea. Hey, Drew. EJ, can you be done with summer? It's 8 p.m. and it's still 27°C outside. I can't stand it, and it's just the beginning. Yeah, I have a feeling the summer's gonna be bad, dude. Tell that train to take a right at the three-way stop. All right, okay. I'm gonna change up the title. Building a racetrack and fixing things for my new to me city. The Return of Las Rico. There we go. We'll change that. I'm going to change it on both. We'll change it on both sides. On YouTube and on Twitch. And yeah, we have some train stuff to figure out. Union Pacific has been showing up a lot in my social media feeds. So I kind of got a little bit of a train bug right now. I was thinking maybe we put some derails. I like derail. Does that train make a 90-degree turn? I don't want to talk about it. Okay. All right. So if we're going to go sitting here diagnosing the train problems, let's turn the tunage on. Actually, I think I can just put the... Let's do... All right, let's roll. All right, so we're gonna fix some of the trains. I did fix some of the highways. Basically the interchange from about here, or the highway, this highway right here.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I've completely redid for Jack here, and then I made an interchange that goes down here. And this double trumpet interchange is all me. That's what I did. And then this tunnel project right here is still me. And then I have the road. How the hell do you go to underground view? I forget. Is it page down? Yes, it is. That's all me down there. And then I didn't complete the highway anymore. We're gonna have to make a portal for that tunnel somewhere. And I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna do it, because there also is a train track down there, and yeah, over here I made this just kind of garden variety intersection here as a way to get into the major urban areas of the city, and then I extended the route down here and made another access area over here, so there's two ways to get into this urban area. There probably still needs to be a highway over here somewhere, but that's fine. I also built all this out, and then I built this entire highway over here. It replaced a boulevard access ramp that was over here. So I've done a lot of fixing with the roads for Mr. Yak, but he went and got himself a real job, so he gave Las Ricos to me. This is our city now. Look at me. I am the mayor now. If I'm ever bumming watching these VODs from last summer with you and Jack Brack, you. Hey, Mokum, 8 monthly sub. Do you also plan to, in the future, to play Workers again? Yeah, maybe. I have no concrete plans, but I do like Workers. Hey, Deepak, 68 monthly sub. Thank you. The big boy past where you live, ZT. That's why my feed has been filled with trains. Yeah, the algorithm figured out that I like trains, and now it's like, hey, people post that. Would you like that? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, yes, I would. Yes, please. Our city. Not communist. Bad. Well, we're not playing workers, so this is my city. This is my city now. All right, so we got to fix the trains. The train system isn't necessarily bad. It's just a little bit on the unsightly side. Yeah, it... all right. So, okay. I have this thing, guys. When I play Cities games, if you haven't seen me play games like Cities or Kerbal or whatever, I like to go for plausible realism. Right? Sorry, turn it. It's actually nice. It's cooler in here today. I like to go for plausible realism. So these ploppable interchanges, like you could put these down, like these are the ones in the highway right here, and you can, you could just plop them down if you want, or you can plop down an interchange like that. That's all fine and dandy. And keep in mind, guys, like I'm not trying to say that, just before we get into it, I'm not trying to say that every single Cities player has to be like this. This is just what makes me happy, I like making my interchanges look realistic. I like making them graded correctly. I really like making them look like highways. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's no plumbing out there. We'll work on that. So that means in real life, guys, let's here, I'll just use an example, like, because this is Jack City, and it definitely looks like more of a Pacific city. We'll look at Los Angeles, I guess. I don't know if Jack wants this to look like this. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but then again, it's my city. I can make it however I want. Highways tend to be graded, and they tend to be very flat. I mean, in the Los Angeles basin, you don't really have much hills anyway, but the roads do kind of carve. But they're always flat, and they don't really take tight turns. Jeez, that highway is huge. They don't really take a lot of tight corners if you can help it, and highways tend to be very flat. Now, obviously, highways do need to go up hills, but if you look, it looks like a ribbon kind of going across, going across everything here. It's like a ribbon stretched across the terrain. There's a ploppable interchange. I bet you the traffic there sucks. Right? So what I'd like to do with highways is make them look like this. Like, see, you can, like right here, the grading, the highway goes up a grade right here. This is not a hill. That's man-made, right? And the reason why they did that, the reason why they graded it is because the road needed to be up to go over this road right here, and it needed to go up over the train tracks right here. They've literally just built the highway over a freight yard, which is, I think that's really cool, but whatever. Who's operating out of this yard? Let's take a look. I think BNSF. Yeah, it's BNSF. It's a BNSF intermodal, and it's a big one. Cool. Oh, look, there's another one. That one's Union Pacific. That's the San Bernardino yard. Yeah, it's pretty big. And the highway goes over it. And there's a residential district in between either side. Man, the infrastructure literally anywhere else in the country than where I'm at is actually, like, pretty crazy. So, when I build highways, I like to grade them. I like to make them flat. Highways tend to be as flat as possible. Now, why? Why are highways as flat as possible? Why? What's the point? Well, hills and turns slow highways down. You slow down. Right? Alright, just so this stops getting angry, I'm just gonna... Come on. There we go. That's not the finalized plumbing for the track. I just don't want it to yell at me as much. But laying that pipe costs money. You know what I'm saying? Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna keep the damn thing paused. Screw that. Let's not waste our time. Alright. Screw rares. Just make it all go downhill. Yeah, right. Alright, so... Did you know I beat your favorite driver again, right? Yeah, who? Yeah, I saw that Denny won. It was just the Joe Gibbs show. And I promptly shut the TV off because I don't care. Yeah, lovely. Because of the highway ripple effect. Okay, yeah, what was I talking about? Highways. So the highways tend to be very flat, and they tend to be straight. The reason why is that's better for a car. If you have a highway that just goes up a huge hill, right? You'll cause an accident. See this? This would kill people on a highway. See that? Imagine a semi-truck going up this, going 75 miles an hour, 120 kilometers an hour. That would be bad. That would end very poorly. Even the on-ramp, right? You just, sudden right turn, and then you got to merge with traffic that's going 80 miles an hour down the... Nah, this would kill people. We don't do that. We build realistically. I grade my highways just like real life. I grade all the highways. I try to make them look plausibly realistic. That's just what I do. See, look at the highways. They tend to be as straight as possible unless, they got to go somewhere else. Like in this particular case, they made the highway go across the river here because it looks like they couldn't keep building it this way. This highway was most likely just a boulevard, and they bulldozed the boulevard, moved it to one side, and then made the highway. I mean, honestly, it looks like all these highways were well, it's Los Angeles. They were retrofitted. They were built after Los Angeles had a lot of sprawl after World War II. Look, you can see that the grid goes like this, and that highway was never intended to be there. And you could see they made bridges and stuff to go over the highway there, see? When in reality, at one point, that road just connected. See what I mean? Boulevard of Broken Dreams. No. So, I like to do stuff like this. It's realistic. It looks right. And I like to... The train tracks? I like to make sure that that looks cool. I know this road. There's a video of Santa Fe 3571 steaming down that line with people driving next to it. All right, that's super cool. There's a train track in the middle of that road.
Discovery,
cool, man.
go at throttle up.
I'll bet you the train track was there first. But, you know, we're talking about trains. Even the tracks are graded, see? Trains especially like being, like, nice, flat, and straight. Avoid corners as best you can. The reason why is because trains you have a metal tire. Well, I was about to say metal tire. It's not a tire. It's a metal wheel.
Discovery,
A metal
go
wheel
at
on a
throttle up.
bogie on a metal rail. Trains have very, 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 very low rolling resistance, and that makes them very, very efficient. Trains are really good at moving things. They're moving a lot of things around very efficiently because of low rolling resistance. It's not like a car where you have tires on a rubber road and, you know, you're driving down the road, you let off the gas, car will start slowing down relatively quick. A train, you could let off power and let the thing roll for miles. In fact, I mean, driving around trains is just an energy management balancing simulator. You just manage the energy of the train. You can use it to your advantage because of the low rolling resistance. Train kept a rolling. That's right. Hey, Mason, 97-month resale. I like trains. Dude, me too. So, the long story short here is that roads need to be pretty flat, but roads can still go up hills for the same reason, for that same rolling resistance that you have a tire. The tire can grip going up a hill. A train can't go up a steep hill. If you go up a steep hill, you're just going to spin the wheels on the train, and wheel slip on a train is death. Like, you know, you lose grip in a car, the car can kind of skitch around a little bit and maybe you spin out. Wheel spin on a train means you're not having a good day, right? Hey, Damians, what's up, dude? So, seeing stuff like this, if a train tried to go up this, it wouldn't. I very much doubt the train would even get to this point. That's got to be like a 30% grade. Now, what's grade? Grade is how much you go up over a certain distance. And believe it or not, it's the same grade is measured in percentage, and it's the same whether it's meters or feet. So, you know, 1% grade is 1 foot per 100 feet. You know, a 1% grade could be 1 meter per 100 meters. That's the same steepness, which is actually pretty interesting. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. This is Jack City. Jack actually gave me the city. I am the mayor of this now. Look at me. I am the mayor now. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this thing. I run this. Jay runs Smart Tech. I run this thing. See last Burbaps. Yeah, Fluffy, yeah, exactly. Grade equals slope, kind of, sort of. Grade is just percentage up for distance traveled. So, once again, I'm going to use feet because I like feet. I like that measuring system. It's the same if it's in meters. A 1% grade is a 1% grade, which is, yeah, once again, I thought that was really weird. Because somebody's like, what's that? You know, one time I was teaching people about grade, and somebody was like, what's that in meters? And I'm like, what? And like, yes, tomorrow XP, you'll let me change your socks, okay? So, we gotta start unscrewing the railroad line, because this is right here. You see this? Trains don't have that much grip. That train would get to the bottom of this, try to go around that corner and wind up in the ocean. We don't do that here. Okay? So we gotta fix a lot of this. And I'm not sure how we're going to fix all of this. We can start over here. Or we could look and see what Jack has teed up here. Yikes. All right, let's start looking at the train system as it exists. All right, so we have export terminals here, 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 and here. I do believe the train system just connects all the export terminals. There's also a dock over here. That's a cargo hub. Which one of these is doing where? Oh. Hey, Flashbong, I barely recognized you. Yeah, we're going aerodynamic for a little while. Because I feel like it. Got hot the other day and sweat was dripping out of my beard, and I'm just like, you know what? Nah, we're not doing that. So some of these export terminals and train tracks are going to be quite hard to build, but these are clearly being used. It's importing products to Frank's Gourmet Fish Sticks. Midlife crisis. Yeah, maybe so, Mutter, but we'll, I'm not gonna... Well, you know what? I'm not gonna read too much into that. And let's just pretend otherwise. Oh boy, it's cities again. All right, so we have export terminals. These export terminals, in order to fix something, guys, or if you want to change something, it's really important to do analysis, all right? So we have a freight terminal here, right? And what's coming out of this? And where is this traffic going? So you can go into the route analyzer here, right? And we can click right here and set it, obviously, to just trucks, right? Set it to just trucks. Where are the trucks going? That answers that. Overwhelmingly, they're trying to gain access into this industrial district in Prospect Hills right here. Overwhelmingly. That's where I'd probably say about 90% of the traffic that export terminal or import-export terminal is feeding, that's where it's going. All right, so we need to find a better home for it. I'm thinking over here. We have plenty of space over here, and we'll be able to fit railway infrastructure somehow in over here. I have 47 trucks in my Prospect Hills account and 47 import-export terminals in my import-export terminal account. Now, there's another import-export terminal here. Where is this one going? Oh. Really? Wait, did I see that right? One truck is importing from one terminal and exporting to another? Question? Hello? No, okay. It's contained. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we probably don't need this one. And anybody that's using that export terminal over there can switch to using that one for the interim amount of time. So the thing is this is costing you money. This costs you $1,400 a week. And that one over there is not nearly at capacity. So this one can get kind of bent. I'm going to shut that one off. I mean, yeah, it's going to kind of ruin happiness in the area, but we can fix that. The other thing around here is that something that Jack was trying to help fix was just unscrew the industrial demand here. So I'm going to start limiting industrial demand for property here because there's too much. There's no need for it. Look, if you look down here behind me, there's 3. You know what? I need to go to the other side of the screen for this. Over there's 3 things here. You have residential, commercial, and industrial. RCI for short. This shows you what your city needs in terms of zoned property. Right? Industrial is at an all-time low, so we don't need those. So any abandoned industrial buildings, I'm going to basically, in this area, we're going to dump. See, that one's going to go out because there's not enough buyers for products. Okay, so the import-export terminal over there is turned off. This one right here there is a little bit of industry right here, but that one is basically servicing this area here, Prospect Hills. So we're gonna need, basically gonna need another one. We're gonna need one somewhere else. There's tree plantations here. Okay. Is there a water source there? Yes, there is. Okay. Greetings from the Northeast Extension. Should be stopped in a couple hours. Cities away. Nice. Astronaut guy, speaking of highways, I remember that the shuttle used grooved runways to land straight, and they thought it'll also work on highways with car tires. Another shuttle fact. That's right. Yep. Grooved pavement. Yep. Look into the spiral tunnels in Yoho Park in Canada. Early 1900, they built long tunnels to reduce the grade from 5% to 1.5% or something and increase train capacity by 3 times. Yep. Did I see a Falcon 9 grid fin lock on landing? Yes, I saw it. It didn't seem to be that big of a deal, but yeah, still something that they need to look at. They had a grid fin lock out in the deflected position during landing on a Falcon 9. There was mining here, but the mine went dry, so I'm getting rid of all those. And see, we have more abandoned buildings here. More bandos. Alright, so we have 2 spur lines for the railroad. One is going this way and it's entirely underground to another import-export terminal over there. And the other one goes all the way down here and it goes to a cargo terminal, which ultimately loops back in over here. Yeah, see, we have trains in a tunnel underneath a tree plantation. Right. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Obviously, we need to redo the main line just a little bit. The main line goes here alongside the highway, more or less. There's another import-export terminal over here. What is this one doing? too few services for the tech industry here, so I built them some parks instead of the import-export terminal. Oh, okay. What about police? Is there any police in the area? Where's the police station? Okay. 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 Is this still better than the sequel? I think the mod support for this is way better. Alright, we're also paying for a 6-lane boulevard right here that goes to nothing. I'm going to change that type of road to something that requires a little less upkeep. We can get away with 4-lane and a median here. Still too few services in the area. All right. How about a merry-go-round? There we go. Jeez. Would barge shipping work in that city? I don't know. Does your caps lock key work? I'm just messing. Yeah, there's not really barges in cities, there's cargo ships. And the cargo ships are, what's our import to export ratio? We're exporting 11, 4,037 units and importing 2,646. What's our biggest import? Ag products. That's actually, yeah, agricultural products. All right, we need to make more food, so we need farms. Jerry, I asked this a few months ago, but why isn't your YouTube still not linked to your Twitch about? Because I haven't done it. No, it's all good, Kuro. I'm just messing, dude. Alright. I'll turn that terminal back on just for now. Perhaps putting a terminal here is not the worst idea, but this is a hill. Like, you're not building a rail yard on a hill unless it's a hump yard, but that's another story. Oh. You know, you forgot to say the coolest part of the spiral tunnel is that you can look down into the valley and see the trains moving below itself. Yeah. Yeah, Drew, I know. There's something like that in the States called the Tehachapi Loop, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this whole area is built around the import-export here, even though the route analyzer suggested otherwise. Hey, Rocket Guy. Cool Scott Manley video today. Yeah, gee, what's he talking about? Maybe Pegasus? Camelot, you have a sour ham sandwich today. All right, cool. Hey, Bio, city's going good. What happened to your face? Too hot, man. Aerodynamic is much easier. Much easier. All right. Nice Bio. All right, so how are we gonna get a train to go through this pass right here? All right, I know where we can look for reference. Let's go over here. So this is Los Angeles, the LA Basin. Let's go over here to Inland Empire. And let's look at the Cajon Pass. No, Cajon Pass. Same thing. Same idea. Yeah, see how the tracks kind of weasel around? That's to keep them as... And see how they kind of go up here, seemingly arbitrarily, but it's not. The highway does the same thing to an extent because you're going up a gigantic hill into the high desert southwest. The train track, see these little snakes there? That's to keep the track as flat as possible. Obviously, it's not going to be flat when you go up into the desert, but you can see the train, the highway just goes up the hill. The train takes a lot longer, and it's naturally trying to find the lowest points with the track to get up to the high desert flat right here. See that? There you go. That's Cajon Pass. See, they made the track follow that hill, and it goes into the canyon here, and then it snakes its way down. We gotta do something like this, and then you hit the bottom of Cajon Pass over here in Inland Empire. It's about a 3,000 foot difference, or about 1,000 meters. It's pretty impressive for what it is. What's the grade? I'm not sure what Cajon Pass's grade is off the top of my head. I think it's... Cajon Pass features a steep highway incline of up to 6 degrees and a railroad grade that's 3. It's a 3% grade. That's nuts. Considering the amount of freight trains that go up and down this thing, a 3% grade is no joke. That might as well be a roller coaster for an actual train. It's 6% on the highway, but it's 6% for that same reason. It's that rolling resistance. Cars can grip. That's why they can go up something steeper. Cars and trucks. Trains don't have that. Trains don't have that luxury. But what trains do have a luxury of is low rolling resistance. So they can efficiently move things. They can efficiently move high quantities of things very, very easily and keep it rolling. It doesn't take a lot of energy to get it to keep it going. 6% is the max grade on an interstate. There you go, Likes. What's up, dude? So 3 feet every 100 feet. Yes. Yes, that's crazy. So yeah, we gotta figure out a way to do that. And with these mountains, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Can we buy anything? No, we're at max. Look. The only other pass is by the damn racetrack. Crap. We could make the train go. We could make the track go underneath the hairpin right there, and then pop out right here, and then cross, and then meet up with the highway. Cajon Summit is 4190. Ugh, that's brutal. Yeah, see, like, look at this in relation. That's okay for the highway. That's pretty steep even for a highway, but that should be more or less accurate, right? Like, but the train cannot do this. No way. That's what's going to make this really challenging. Having a train track get up here and have the right grades. This is actually, yeah, this is a big problem. I'm just wondering what the real world grade percent is the highest recorded. Jerry, there are certain types of trains can go up grades. Can go up like 10, 20% grades, but it has to be a special type of train called a cog railway. And subways, like mass transit, subways can go up steeper grades just because it's not a gigantic, like 6,000 ton freight train. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a good truck, Fluffy. I gotta get it running. The gasoline, bad gas got the carburetor. Just looking at the different elevation changes here. So what we could do, we could have the train tracks go all the way over here. And then we could have them loop back over here and then get up the grade. That would require doing a lot of what's called fills here, but totally doable. That would require a lot of terrain shaping, but that would get us a track up here. Now, even if we do get a track up here, where's it going? Where's it going? Or we need to redo this intersection if we wanted the track to go down any useful grade over here. And there would need to be flattened area, which we already kind of have right here with that existing track next to this levee, or this kind of reservoir that I made. And then we could have the grade go down from there. We could have it go over here, cross this, and then loop out here and go back down from there. I actually kind of like that. That'll work. And that'll get me, what I'm going to do is I'll put a rail yard here and we'll centrally locate between those two import-exports and go from there. Hey, London, 15-month resub. Is that realistic and practical? Is it common to switch back tracks? Yeah, there's a switchback right here. It's not as crazy as what I'm doing, but like, look, the rail line's over there. It goes all the way over here just to get over there, just to keep it not as steep. Yeah, man, that's gonna be really difficult to get that right. All right, let's do it. So I was thinking, like, do we even need the tracks over there? Yeah. To keep this area kind of rolling. Not necessarily that one, but over here, yeah, sure. And then we could build out, we could utilize this area for power plants or industry or whatever. There's an NPP over here in extremely close proximity to the city, so that's good. You know, love that. Yeah, trains do that, Rarest. Absolutely. It's just not as apparent, but yes. Road switchback, train switchback, yeah, that's absolutely a thing. All right, let's start handling this. Let's go. So, do I have a measuring tool in this game? I forget. Hey, Darth, what's going on? Why is the alerter off? Hey, just got here. What have you missed? I don't know. Just gonna keep this like this for now. I hate that does that. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that for now, and we'll fix it. So each one of these lines, this is a topographical map. Each one of these lines represents a meter of elevation, if I'm remembering correctly. I haven't played Cities in a little bit. I would need a lateral or a long measuring tool here. With all the network tools that I have, do I have a measuring tool? I don't remember. Let's make it look nice. Screw it. So I'm just building out the track, and right now it's just kind of ribboning over the terrain. It looks terrible, but we'll work on it. I'm going to use the curve tool this time around. Okay. Now, as far as I can tell, this line is abandoned line. And they tried to make it look like it's doing some, you know, switchbacks there for whatever. But you know what? We're ripping that old line up. We don't need that. There, that's good enough. But we got to remember, if we're doing a switchback, we're going to need to leave some room out here. So I don't want this line to particularly hug the hill. We might have to do a cut like this, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So what I'm going to do now is use the Move It tool, right? Select here. And what we can do with the tracks is select a nice constant slope here with the sloping tool. And now we go in here and slope up. Oh, yeah, baby. That gets us a nice steady grade. Oh, yeah. Now, see, even just messing around with the slope tool right there, that looks way better. We can get rid of this. We're not going to use that anymore. But I noticed something. See how the line right here has a low spot on the outside or on the inside of the track? There's a low spot here. No good. If it rains, right, and it rains all up into this hill, what's going to happen? Water's going to roll down here. Something that you got to think about if you want to make like stuff look realistic here is, well, this wouldn't work. All the water would come down here, and then your railroad grade is working like a dam. That's not good for it, especially if it breaks. It's not. The railroad tracks aren't, unless explicitly designed this way, they're not designed to be a dam. So you got to put a relief in it. We have to put a culvert in. So let's go here, get rid of this, right? And what we do Start putzing around with the terrain a little bit. I've kind of made a drainage culvert for us there, which is great. And then we can slope it to make it look nice. And now we take the tracks. Boom, baby. Now we don't have to worry about it. Now we got a drainage culvert. So when it rains, all the water is going to go here, and it's not going to put hydraulic pressure on the tracks. Now what we can do is we can go in here, smooth this out to make sure that that's the low point, right? All this type of engineering goes into railroad tracks when they make them, guys. This is all, you have to think about this stuff. And then over here, we don't want the low point to be the tracks. So what I'm going to do, go in here like this and put another culvert right here to get the water to drain out. Now, do you have to worry about this in cities? No, you do not. But it is cool to do. It's cool to do, and little stuff like that is what makes it, what sells it. Like I said, plausible realism is how I like to play this game. Now what I'm doing is I'm just going over this with the smoother tool, just to smooth out the edges and not make it look like they were just freshly bulldozed. But see, look at that. That looks way better. I mean, we could put our system to the test, guys, if I put a water source, or not a water source out here. I put a drainage pump or drainage line out here. We could put the drainage culvert to the test, but yeah. I mean, in cities, the only benefit here is basically if a tsunami hits. And yeah, this city can get hit by tsunamis. That's why I put all those the levees out here. $50 of these. Keep up the good stuff. Thanks, Jack. All right. That looks real good. See, we got a nice smooth radius here. We got our drainage culvert. Drainage relief here. And now we won't have to worry about water on the train tracks. Don't want that. Okay. That did give me a nice grade. I like that. That was pretty good. So, let's continue. Right? How many terrain steps did we go up there? So, we're flat right here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10. Go over here. Let's try to keep the stepping going. Now, what we could do is just... How many cells long is this? Another thing that we could do, right? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay. So if we go up another 10, with the next segment of rail, right? We go up another 10 spots, another 10 steps in the terrain, and we have 23 segments, right? We can get more or less the same grade. It'll get the same steepness. All right, so where's 10 spots up from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 23 segments is going to be over here somewhere. All right, so let's build the next bit. Let's roll. Let's burn. Turn up the heat. Like that. I need to put something to mark where we need. Oh, the tree is there. That tree will mark it very well. Excellent. So I know where to go. So once again, this is really messed up. So we're gonna get at that sloper tool again. And we go from here. That's only 15 segments. Oh, we got a little ways to go. We can go further. We must go deeper. It's currently 154 degrees in Texas. What? Do you have a mod list? Yeah. Hang on, I think it's Cities Mods. Yeah, there it is. I got it for you, Ringer. Gotcha, man. It's at a dry heat? Yeah. Hey, Mario Master. Thank you for that raid. Appreciate it. I'm going to give myself a lot of space here. The reason why is because if we switch back the track, we're going to need another... There's going to need to be another track that's like up here somewhere. And the step is going to need to look like that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see the step. There we go. Yeah. It's going to look sick. (16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, more or less 23. Now slope it. Oh, yeah. Now, the interesting thing is, just on a side note, you know, people wonder why go through all the effort? Why does it matter? The truth is, it kind of doesn't. But also at the same time, kind of does. Depends. You don't really care and you just want your trains to move something from point A to point B, that's fine. If you're really worried about it, well, not worried, if efficiency of trains and movement is one of your big things, like a big requirement for your city, this is something to consider. Trains will move faster on flat in cities. Cars are the same way. Cars slow down in cities when they go up a hill. Cars slow down when they turn. So if you make your highways straighter and you make your train tracks flatter, you can move more trains faster. Your trains can go faster. Just something to consider. For what it's worth, workers and resources, I like that game a lot. That does the same thing. If a truck is hauling something up a hill, it goes slower, which I think is superbly cool. Now, just like El Cajon, we're gonna kind of go with the terrain here. Ooh, not enough soil. We need a cut. Dredge. Dredging time. We need dirt. Yeah. There we go. Nice. But mods installed. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, so the next height is up here. Oh, Raptor side chat time. Bye-bye. The next 10 up is over here. So we need to get to that height with 23 segments, more or less. Yeah, the other track's down there, and that, you know, that's nice. You know, it would be cool doing this multiplayer, working with multiple people in a city. I don't know if there's a multiplayer city-style game out there. I mean, Hurtful, the closest thing that we did was our Minecraft city. I took a break from playing City Skylines one time. Hold on. Oh, it's gone. We don't have the... We played cities in Minecraft, dude. Yeah. I had a survival city where we had to go mine... We had a survival save where we had to go mine all the resources. We had, like, gigantic open pit mines for dirt and grading, and we had all the highway grading and stuff. It was super cool. Is this a racetrack or a train track? The racetrack's over here. That's the racetrack. This is a train track. We're building a racetrack and fixing a bunch of stuff, Ozzy. So, yeah, I was working on the racetrack. It's over here. The racetrack's pretty good, but felt like... So this is a city that one of my buddies started playing it, and he didn't have the time to complete it anymore because he got another job. And, yeah, so it's mine now. I fix it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Eddie, what's up, dude? Okay, so the slope stopped right here. I'm gonna just see if we can plop down something so I have my markers. There, just something to see. All right, so now we go here. Do you know about Transport Fever 2? Yes. Have I played it? No. Ah, I forgot to count the segments. Hold on. One, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. And 23. 23 needs to be at the correct height. This is the correct height here. The reason why it's 23 segments, just in case anybody was wondering, is that gives me roughly a 1% grade, give or take. Alright, so get the slope tool again. And we slope it. It's actually really good. You need to actually get good at cities. All your builds just end up as grids, functional ones, but not pretty. Work with the terrain, dude. Best advice I can give. Work with the terrain. like that. That's pretty good. See, Eddie, I'm making this part of the track work with the terrain. I'm not trying to do particularly straight lines. Train tracks want to be nice and straight when they can, but if I made it any more straight than this, it's going to go out into the ocean. And then we made it across the river and stuff, which is super cool. I don't like how it has a segment right in the middle of the river. Generally, you try to avoid that with bridges. You don't really want that. That's not ideal. The reason why is because if you have your footing, if you have the columns for the bridge on dry terrain, right? It's easier to make. You don't want to put this in water, because then now you have to work on mitigation techniques to make sure it doesn't erode away. That's a pain in the butt. Nobody wants to do that. So I'm going to get that support. Actually, we might be able to use network extensions to split stuff. Network multi-tool, maybe. If I add a node there, add a node there, and then we get rid of a node in the center. See? That right there, much more realistic. Now, if you really wanted to get this right, you'd put these on flat areas like that. Try to get it as flat as possible. The footings like being on flat, or not the footing, the bridge likes being on flat ground. It didn't really like it on that side, but if this thing is going into, if it's going into sloped terrain, now don't get me wrong, you can do this in real life. If it's going into sloped terrain, that means that thing is working as a retaining wall, and that means the terrain is trying to slide down and push on it, and it introduce shear load into your bridge columns. Don't want to do that. It could bend the bridge. That's why you usually put the footing and the column for the bridge usually on flat terrain. Even on bridges that go over water. Like, one thing I'm thinking of is like the Golden Gate Bridge up in San Francisco. One of its, the footing for it, and that's way too far. That's Monterey Bay right here. One of the columns of the suspension bridge on the Golden Gate, look, it's built over water. Right? What they did to make this is they basically emptied this area around it and basically filled it with dirt. And then they built the column and cast all the concrete for the column, or for the footing, and then the column from there. The other one is on terrain, but even, see, same thing. They built a big flat foundation and around that area. See that? Even though that one's out in the middle of the bay. That probably was really challenging to get that right, because there's a lot of tidal flow in the bay here, right? So the tides go in and out, and so there's nasty currents in here. Getting that right probably was not easy. Simultaneously, there's the Bay Bridge over here. Look, there's the column for the bridge. Look, it's on a gigantic flat foundation, right? It's not like they just made the support for the bridge go all the way down into the water. This is a huge concrete and dirt pile that the bridge is sitting on. See, it's the foundation for the bridge, the footing for it. Even this part. Pretty cool, huh? Hey. Have you seen Bridge the 25th of April? It's the same. No, but I believe it. See, now we have a nice bridge there, and it looks real good. Now, I flattened this area out. Normally, you wouldn't do a fill this big, but what the track's going to do is we're going to go around here, and then we're going to put a loop in right here, and then we're going to make it loop around. And I'll make it so, honestly, you could put a spur. You could put a Y in a spur line here, but I don't, yeah. You could. But see how this area kind of is more or less a plateau? Like it's steep right here and steep right here. Track's going to go over here. It's going to loop around, then it's going to come back this way, and we're going to double back, which should theoretically get us more or less level up here. It might be a little bit short looking at it, but that's not, we can fix that. That's no big deal. That loop might be a little bit tight. A little bit of a tight curve. So, Liverin Part 3 for Transport Feeder will come out in 2024. Neat. Oh, I gotta make sure we're at the same height. Oh wow, we actually got that pretty right. Cool. Let me count the segments. Estita, what's up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18. I don't like this part. I don't like the radius of that corner. XJ, you watched Project Hail Mary last night? Banger? Dude, it's a great movie. Don't worry, we'll replant them. That's enough segments. So let's see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Actually, we got to make sure we're at the correct height. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17. All right, that's 23 segments there. Let's undo that. It's because the 23rd segment was not at the correct terrain height. It made a fill instead of a cut. That's not what I want. It needs to be down here. Yeah, see, this will cut. If we do it now, this will cut into the terrain. Watch, ready? Instead of a roller coaster, we get. Oh, stop that. Did I not get the terrain stepping right here? No, it's correct. Try that. Two, 3, 8, 9. Mint. Have you noticed the dip before that section? Yes. We weaseled it out with the slope tool. And now we backfill. All right. Once again, we have a low point, so we're going to need to make a drainage culvert, which is not a big deal. Oh, we just got to mess with the terrain here so the game understands what's going on. Question, do train tracks use banked tracks? Sometimes, Kuro, but for the most part, no. Fun fact, trains bank around corners naturally just due to the tapered shape of the wheel. So, if we kind of look at a train wheel, right? The train wheel has a very, 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 very purposeful shape. And this is actually genius. Whoever thought of this is way smarter than me. So if you look at it, the wheels are all tapered to an extent. They have this back lip piece right here, and that's obviously to, you know, keep it on the rail, right? But it tapers in. So like there's a seemingly flat spot on the wheel right here, and that's not flat. It's actually sloped outward. It goes, the diameter from the outside here to the inside is actually different. The reason why it does that, the reason why it does this is to handle when the train is going around a corner. All right. So if your wheels on either side are shaped like this, they're shaped inward, right? And you go around a corner, right? One wheel is going to want to spin more than the other because you're going around a corner and your inner wheel is at a different radius than the outer wheel. The outer wheel is going to want to spin more. A car makes up for this with a differential. The differential, you make more spokes, right? But a train can't have a diff in it. I mean, you could, but there's a much simpler solution here. The simpler solution is that taper on the wheels. When the train goes around a corner, it naturally leans to one side because the wheels are tapered, and that allows the wheel, it slips up the taper and it spins faster. So it just, trains always lean into corners a little bit, just a little bit. It's not like a NASCAR, like banking into the corner. But trains do lean into the corners. That naturally happens because that's how they solve differential. That's how you solve differential rotation rates between the left and right wheel. They just tapered the wheels. Every train does this. Like every train. Yeah, Ken's something like that. Yeah. See, if you look, the wheel has a slight taper to it in this design, and that's part of the reason why the tops of the rails are beveled, because the wheels can slip laterally left to right on the rails. Now, obviously there's a guard, right here, and that guard fits. That's why there's the beveled part of the rail right there, and the guard does fit. Like it will ride on the side of the rail if the train's going around a corner, and that's part of the reason why they squeak. Why trains squeak when they go around a tight curve. Because this is hitting the rail, and like subways make that noise all the time, right? But yeah, that's why they squeak. But it's the flange guard is designed to keep the train on the rails when it's going around the corner. But yeah, that's the other reason. That's the other reason why trains can't really take tight corners. If you get tight corners, you're gonna force the flange guard up against the outside wheel, and it's going to just ruin the rail. It's very, very, the whole thing is very slight. It's so subtle, Kens, you would never notice it. Just looking at rails, you would never know. like you would never ever see it. The taper is so slight, but it's such an ingenious problem. Yeah, that's like you teched straight to the top of the train wheel tech tree. Like, this is beautiful. Every train does this. It doesn't matter, North American, European, Russian, Japanese, whatever, Chinese, they all do this. Every single one of them does it. It's that good of an idea. Who came up with this? I'm not sure who came up with the tapered wheel. I'm gonna guess George Stephenson, but I don't think that's true. Oh, John Locomotive came up with it. Let me see if I can get something else for you here. This is from Scientific American. This infographic from them pretty much explains what I'm talking about. Every train does that, dude. Hey, Couchy, what's up? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, every train banks to an extent, dude. It's a good question. Some locations have automatic greasers for tight corners. Yeah, when the train squeaks, it's the wheel flange hitting the rail. It's not bad. It's okay. It's just scraping the rust off of the rail. But yeah. Coincidentally, like with train track, another way to tell if a train track is in use is if the rails are shiny. Just if you're, I don't know, walking down train tracks, you want to know if trains use them. If the rails are shiny, trains use them. If the rails are rusty, line's not in use. How often are tracks changed? I don't know. It depends on how much use the line gets, Kuro. Tracks and ties are always under stress. Remember, the train's pushing down on that, and the tracks need to stay, the two rails need to stay perfect. Even a little bit of taper, like out on a rail, the train will derail. It'll have to stay pretty damn true. And when the train is pushing down on those rails, the railroad ties are holding those rails in position. So every time a train goes over the rails, the ties do get squashed and stretched to an extent. The whole system does wear down over time. How often? Depends on how much the line is used. Olean, what's up? Deutsche Bahn and Siemens even tried to use this by designing an internal combustion engine that tilts 5 degrees to get... not internal combustion engine. An ICE that tilts 5 degrees to get much faster in the curves. They called this model ICE-T, or tilt. Nice. Turned out it destroyed the wheels. The tech got disabled very fast, and then it was never used in the ICE again. Yeah, you don't... yeah, they tried to make trains like a pneumatic system to have the train bank into the turn. No, that really makes the wheels angry. Yeah, I do believe the British tried that with one of their intercity trains too, and it made everybody throw up. It was George Stephenson and independently French engineer Marc Seguin came up with it. Came up with it in the same year. All right. Cool. All right, dudes. Well, where's the next terrain step? The next terrain step is over here some... Oh. Yep. we may have to blast. Actually, honestly, we don't need to have it keep going up at that rate anymore. Yeah, where I'm looking at right here, we can flatten it out, at least for the loop, and then we could start to go up over here again, and that should give us what we're looking for. So this next part, I'm actually just gonna plug. I'm just gonna make this flat-ish. Brother, it's in the 90s in northern Pennsylvania today, and it's barely June. I don't know what to tell you. I do. Chill out. Yeah. We would be dynamiting the heck out of this thing. I'm not sure. Oh man, that would be treacherous. For this part, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like that corner. Yeah, baby. Now we're talking. So for this part, we're going to use the flattening tool. Yes. There we go. Now, doesn't that look nice? Nice. Perfect train loop. All right, cool. Now, you guys know the drill. Go in here. Make the bridge piece. There we go. Take the terrain around it.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Sculpt it out nice. Yeah, baby. And then take the slope tool, the terrain sloping tool, I should say, and And then go over that with the smoother. Real quick. Boom. There you go. We can do some work on this side of the viaduct here. Well, it's not really. Yeah, viaduct. Yeah, it's not really viaduct. You get the idea, though. You're a good sport. Come on. Come on. You're a good sport. Make a track house at the loop? Hey, Super. 120 monthly sub. 10 years from high school to college grad. Time well spent, I'd say. Thanks, man. Audrey, afternoon, bro. I got a big question for you. Do you have a spare 79K lying around? Oh. Oh. I wish. I'd buy that for $1. Audrey, why you gotta show me this? Don't show me this. Why you gotta show me this stuff? Don't do that to me, man.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Not a J2X, but it'll do. Will your HOA allow that in the front yard? HOA? I don't know. I live in the woods, dude. There ain't no HOA around here.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Maybe for Christmas, huh? I don't think a 79 grand purchase is in the cards. I might be able to sell Bremo on that, but I might not be able to sell Bremo on that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Here. You know what I'm saying? Achilles, 55-month resub. Thank you. That'd be so awesome, right, Shark? I know, dude. Ugh. It's an H1, so that was an H1 engine. Rocketdyne H1. They used that on, so that was used on Thor missiles, Thor Able, Thor Delta, Saturn 1, Saturn 1B, Delta 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and 8,000. Yeah. H1 engines or variants of an H1 engine were flying on rockets from the United States from all the way from the Thor IRBM, the intermediate range Thor missile, all the way up to the last Delta II launching IceSat 18 or not IceSat, IceSat 2 in 2018. Yeah, those are cool engines. They were used for a very long time. They did rename them over time though. RS-27. That's what the original name was. Now that was an H1. That was an H1 motor. That's Apollo program vintage, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Do you think you'll play Transport Fever 2 when it launches? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. How much gain in altitude with the switchback? Well, we started at... So, that's sea level. 10 meters above sea level. We started about 20 meters above sea level. And the next segment will bring us 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 meters above sea level. Trains, baby. I gotta say, watching you grade it is like zen. These are very chill streams, they're not. Yeah.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Legs. What's up, dude? That, I don't think that's gonna work. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta change the footing in that bridge. 5, 6, 7. Game paused and deselected everything. Nice. Let's, we're a couple segments short of, the 23, so. And don't worry, I'm fixing that. I'll probably put tunnels there to make it look good. Okay, let's go again. 3. And now we slope it. Nice. Looks good. But that's obviously an issue. But the cool part is that we can tunnel this baby. No problem. We're going to have to actually add terrain there. And, yeah. This one we could probably get away with not doing anything. So we could just cut it and blast. We may have to blast. Yeah, that one can just be a straight cut, and then we'll, if we take the smoother tool and we go in here and we smooth it out like a blasting face here. Yeah, you might want to worry about like falling rocks or something. Now let's go back over here and we'll hit this with the smoother tool. We're gonna make a tunnel portal here. I'm flattening this area out around the rails to give us a nice entrance portal. Now, we make it go, make it do. Ready? There's our portal. That's what it's called with tunnels, dude. They're called portals. And what I like to do is just make the portal on both sides and then connect them. But see, those might be a little bit out of whack. So let's go back into our Move It tool, right? And what we do... How do I... There was a way to do this. I don't remember. There it is. Yeah, you got to look at these from a very specific angle. All right, so here's what we do. Get out of this for a second. We got to take that node, right? And then we got to go underground to the next town. Go here. 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 Go out of underground mode. And then go here. And then, if we slope this... That should make it nice and flat. Yes! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about! We did it! We did it! The son of a gun did it! Hello, cities! I'm back! Sorry. Can you make a avalanche gallery? What do you mean? Hey, why the heck not? What's up? Hope you and your family are well. Yeah, we're getting there, dude. Haven't seen Skylight in ages, but bringing back traffic PTSD is yeah. Oh, it's bringing back traffic PTSD. Sorry. Doesn't that look nice? Are you gonna fly a train into an alien mothership now? Yes. You just gotta let me lay the tracks first. We can get rid of this pile of dookie that is a train track. Duty! What was that, Fluffy? You hear? Oh no, not Mike McDoodoo! Freaking coach of the Dolphins. Oh no, it's Mike McDoodoo! No, he's terrible. No, not Mike McDoodoo! The game doesn't have the tools for avalanches, but yeah. One more switchback, bro. I swear. Yeah. No, just one more slope with the train, bro. Please, just one more slope, bro. It'll be good, man. It'll be good. Is this the Grand Johnson Railroad? No, it's the Big Grand Johnson Railroad. Yeah, Avalanche Galleries, I would assume, is something like... No, I don't know what that is. Yep, I don't know what that is. Are you gonna play City Master Plan when it releases? Possible. Yeah, the BJRR for short. No, it's since this was Jack's city first, and I'm EJ, and I'm running it now. We have to name the railroad the E. Jack Byard Railroad. The Jack Byard. Yeah. Sorry. my fault. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man moment. It just popped in there. Just popped in there. I couldn't help it. I just used to roast Stay Puft Marshmallows up at camp. I didn't choose anything. You think of anything? No. I didn't choose of any. No. Ray? Ray? What just popped it? Don't worry about it, Dom. I'll tell you when you're older. Independence Day. You got it, man. Yes. What did you do, Ray? I couldn't help it. Long. Yeah, man. I is gonna have. What did that say? Yeah, man. I is gonna have a spliff now and take it easy. It's legalized. Hashtag THC. Hashtag aim high. Where is the policies menu? Where's the policies? Why do all these districts have marijuana legalized? That's, okay. Jack, there's something you're not telling us? Why not keep it legal? You can tax it. Yep. You can tax it. Yep. Puff out your chest and say it.
Tax exemption.
I don't think I'm ready to work, Mr. Krabs. I can't do anything right because pickles. All right, next segment. Oh yeah, this is fine. It's just Big Thunder Mountain right here. All right, how many segments are we at? Oh, I think we started over here somewhere. Well, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12. 19, 20, 21. You know what? I decided I hate this. I tried to make it follow the terrain. I'm not doing that. We don't need to do that here. That's not that crazy of a slope to get it to do that. And I'd prefer it kind of go out here a little ways so we can get it around this corner without making some crazy tight corners. Nice surf liner. Yeah. Thanks, man. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 11, 12, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That needs to be at the right height though, so we got to take this, and that's the correct height. So about that amazing GP at Monaco this weekend, are you excited? No. No, I am not. I have not watched Formula One since the first race. Yeah. First race this season was the last one I watched. I don't even remember what track it was. No, that's not right. Nice. Cool. It was Albert Park? Yeah, guys, I've watched more Indy and Formula One. Indy than Formula One. Heck, I've watched NASCAR the most. Yeah. I'm just... I don't know, dude. The battery stuff, Formula One, just... It gave me the ick, dudes. I'm just like, yeah, alright. Okay. I'm just, you know, we've always said, like, where does it end with the regulations and, you know, the battery tech and the smaller power plants, etc., etc. It just, I think I hit my level of tolerance. And I'm like my tolerance threshold was exceeded. I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating by any means. And I'll still get the results and stuff, but I don't know. Oh boy. Battery management. It has gotten better since the start of the season due to how dangerous it was, but yeah, it's not much better. Yeah. You know, Big Food's just, if I want battery management, why not just watch Formula E? You know, I don't like Formula E. But reason why is because I don't like battery management. That's dumb. Howdy likes batteries, that's why. Yeah, and I like racing, so we're at odds with each other, Super. I like a good racing spectacle. If they, you know, I'm the guy who likes good racing. They must be the other guy. The guy who does his job. You must be the other guy. Yeah, like I said, if you like Formula One, you're watching this. You know, I'm not hating by any means. I'm like, watch it, dude. Like, I'm not doing that. I'll wait for the results. You know what I'm saying? That's actually the right spot for that, which is pretty good. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's quick save. That is the Big Johnson loop. Yeah. Big Johnson lip. I do believe I had a shirt that said something like that a long time ago. Right. All right, so the next step up is another 10 meters. Probably gonna be over here somewhere. Oh, no. Where is it over here? Oh, okay, good. All right, I did estimate correctly. Holy crap, that scared the balls out of me for a second. I'm like, there's no way. I'm not making the train track go all the way up to here. It'll go into a tunnel. Right here. I mean, we could do a cut, but having a tunnel pop out like right here, I think is much better. Because, yeah, we need to go up another... Hold on. Yeah, no, this will work. We'd have to go up like another 40 meters. I'm not doing that. Train doesn't need to go up there. There's nothing up there for the train to get to, because it just gets to the peak right here and then it just goes down. See, like the current terrain step that I was at right here, dudes, that is that. That's that level right there. Cool. Let's get rid of this crock of crap right there. EJ, completely off topic question. Are you going to try to get the IPO shares of SpaceX that goes public on the 12th? Yes. Yeah, I will. Buck, there was actually a huge SpaceX had an info dump on their IPO today. That's right. We have a lot to talk about for space news here, so I'm just gonna finish the tracks, get them to get the right of way to right here, and yeah, we got yeah. I don't know how big of an info dump it is, but it's pretty big from what I've seen. Yeah, come on. Gonna need to move these rocks out of the way. Move them over there. Just pretend I had a dump truck and I did that, okay? Just pretend, you know, as a treat. Now I need to go over here. Like this and flatten this out, and then we'll get one portal tunnel here. There we go. I'm a finance guy. Their S1 is nerve-wracking. Apollo, their evaluation leaves a lot open for like, oh yeah, we'll make money off this. Oh yeah, there's tons of things that we can make money off of. So give us money so we can make money off of these things. What things? Well, we don't know. But oh yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I'm like Tesla merger incoming. Wobbles? Maybe. Tunage. That was my phone. Oh, perfect. And slope it. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. Nah. Have you seen them trying to nudge up the token costs to not bleed money as fast, and it's causing huge expenses for companies who save money by replacing a bunch of people with AI? Like more than just paying the people cost before. No, but that's funny, man. I mean, it's not. People losing their jobs isn't funny. Just, yeah. I have thoughts. I won't say nothing. That's kind of funny, Glugs. That, yeah, just, all right, sure. Why not? All right, let's see how that looks. That's manageable. Way more manageable. Actually, dudes, I am almost thinking make the tracks go here and put the tunnel portal right there and then have it go underneath this mountain. I wanted to keep it in the low point, but honestly, I'm thinking over here is probably a better solution. We can move the rocks again. Yeah, Panda Man, for sure. All right, let's just reset the slope there. I do believe we were like right here. 1, 2, 3. Don't mind me, just filling the terrain back in. It's real steep though, right? Did I see Jeff's post from about an hour ago? One week later, incredible progress. It's a 24/7 operation with a solid path forward to launch this year, helped by a lot of luck. NASA and the Space Force have been really helpful. This team, never tell them the odds. That doesn't say caution, that says cuidado. Look at the damage on the concrete. Yep. See that concrete? Junk. You're gonna have to report. Now, how far down? Don't know. This is junk. That's no good. Concrete shouldn't look like sand. That's bad. It's probably because it got superheated because a rocket blew up behind that dude's head. What a mess. Crazy. Yeah. That's so interestingly enough, you see that? That's what concrete should look like, but not this. This is bad. Dude, we did a space news and a breakdown like of where they're at. Like where New Glenn is at and where Blue Origin is at, and they keep saying they're gonna launch in 6 months. I would like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see that. That spall not gouged out by an impact. Yep. That was liberated like the heat shield. Spalling. Yep. You saw it too. If they can pull it off, I'll be very impressed. Let me put it that way. All right, let's finish the terrain here on the bridge. Or on the Big Johnson Viaduct. There we go. Just dredge a little bit more terrain out of there. This is the Big Johnson Railroad Viaduct. You know? BJRR. Enormous. Yeah, it's... Yeah. I don't know if they would backfill like this in real life. The track would probably kind of loop in here to avoid years of backfilling this, but, you know, whatever. This is all right. We should still put a drainage viaduct in here. 4014 is in Chicago. They updated the eastern route map. Will be coming straight through your city. Cool. Neat. That should give me some terrain to work with. No, it's my own mix, Gregor. Sounds good. Right on, man. Thank you. It's not actually like my own mix. This is AI music. But yeah, it's good image. Ooh, drizzle it up. Hell yeah. Nice. You know what? I like that just the way it is. Now we can go back to lowering this right here, slope from there to there, and from there to there, and then just smooth this out. There we go. Nice. Now that looks better. I like that. I have to go dredge more. There we go. Coastal erosion? Ah, don't worry about that. It's fine. Ooh, we should make the this slope go down to here. Oh, no, we shouldn't. Should just smooth that over. Hell yeah. There we go. Water should drain down into that culvert over there and then... Cool. Cool. We are on our way to making rail lines that don't suck. But yeah, look at that. What do you think? Big Johnson loop. Switchback. Now that's realistic grading right there. It actually does look good. I'm pretty happy with that. They're gonna launch New Shepard in 6 months. Yeah, right. All right, dudes. That's gonna do it for the city segment here. How many miles is that track? I don't know, probably 4 or 5 miles. But the trains can go faster on it, dude. That's the thing. Topo Chico Yak would be proud. Yeah. So, here's what we're going to do. I want to try something, dudes. For Space News today, Bree actually had this idea. So I usually jog the YouTube VOD and the YouTube VOD only. I'm thinking, and what we were thinking, if I jog the Twitch VOD too, it'll post a notification that Space News is starting, right? Like, that's not a bad idea. I mean, VOD continuity gets a little cut up on the Twitch side of things, but it already does that on YouTube. You get Discord pings. Well, we'll see. We do? I like that idea. Not everybody has Discord pings, you suppose. Let's try it. Let's try it today. Flavio, you're back on Twitch side. All right. We're Wumbo maxing. So, guys, I'm actually going to shut both VODs off, Twitch and YouTube. I'll restart the Twitch one and put on the video that we usually put on. Actually, yeah, I don't... No one watches the VODs on Twitch. It's terrible anyway. It really is compared to YouTube. It's
Discovery,
really bad.
go at
Hey,
throttle.
Bob. Merry Subiversary. May your cars race and your track be tarmac. It's just how it's meant to be. Oh, yes, old boy. Thank you very much. All right. I don't know. All right. So here's what we're going to try to do today. So, Sawyer, I'm going to... Pip. I'm gonna shut both VODs, and then I'll flip them both back on when we're ready to go for Space News in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna try it. We'll just see what it does today, okay? So, stand by for loss of signal on both sides, YouTube and Twitch, and we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, we're gonna try this. Space News will be up and running in about 30 minutes, so 5:15. It should be about right. 5:15, somewhere around there. So I'll be back then. Stand by for loss of signal on both ends. As long as the break is less than 30 minutes, it doesn't mess with watch streaks. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Thank you very much for watching.